land in her galley. Cheap little flower, coming at you from the privacy and safety of my beloved benefactor's estate and sanctuary. So, this is my new set of videos called Coinciding Incidents. Because as a targeted individual, the opposition comes up with a lot of psychological weaponized tools of abuse and torture that the Setzersung, that the Nazi heritage had trained their little flying flunky monkeys to enact, to sell out their soul for, to become minions of Satan himself. A lot of these people call themselves Christian, go to church by day, and then go target their individuals with their psycho stage theater. So, whenever a targeted individual is asked, so what's the deal about being targeted? There's there are countless numbers of stage theater, countless numbers of gaslighting events that it's kind of difficult just to call them up on a roster. So the purpose of coinciding events is that a lot of times whenever the trained flying flunky monkeys that often parade themselves as backstabbing Christians when they're really Team Judas, what it is that they'll contrive these incidents that they were trained to do by their handlers, which are actual pedophiles and murderers. They ain't got no problem consorting with pedophiles and murderers, so whatever. But I am terming this coinciding incidents because it's exactly what it is. These are double entendres that infiltrate the atmosphere just to needle the targeted individual, just to needle them to act out of sorts. So a lot of times it is just happenstance, and a lot of times it is purposeful psycho stage theater. That this is your melee for pay. That they got their little hands grubbed to come out and act out these ways toward their targeted individual and pretend they ain't doing fucking shit because they've already compromised their soul and their mind and now have been hand trained to be groomed as the Auschwitz executioners doing their torture, their psychological havoc, their psychological needling of the individual. And it's throwing the rocks and hiding their hands. It's backstabbing and pretending they didn't throw a goddamn knife. So whenever these events come up, yeah, they just might be happenstance of a coinciding event that happened in the background of the atmosphere. And honestly, I really don't care if it's a actual contrived psycho theater or if it really is a coinciding event that just happened organically. Whenever it comes up, this is what my videos are, and this is what this portion of these files are about. So I'm just going to start relating them as I remember them. So welcome to my coinciding events file. And so, enjoy the throwing of the rocks and the hiding of the hands. Yes, is it really psycho theater or is it really an organic coinciding event? Either way, I don't care. I'm here to report the information as I recall it or as it plays out. Because at the end of the day, only God knows. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the story. Hey, there's Patricia Ann Land of the Galley. Cheap little flower. Coming at you from my cousin's sanctuary here in North Carolina. It's coinciding incidents. It's been a while since I've dropped a coinciding incident, but today, thought it was noteworthy. And so, it's like, where do you start? with the coinciding incidences, because they just keep racking and racking. I don't believe in lip service. I believe in patterns, because the actions show you what roots are in the heart of a person's soul. Because anybody can say anything, and a facade is a facade. And the Bible says that may our intentions pass through the fire. And then so whenever I, talk about forgiveness, authentic forgiveness is the pathway to liberation and freedom from the hurt, from the pain, And then so whenever you realize, 117 as I said that, as you realize the power there is in forgiveness, it makes it that much easier to forgive, It does for me. And so I'm all about sharing my secret sauce with what has helped me, because I'm a triathlon survivor of triathlons, of all triathlons, surviving this white glove Holocaust. And then so I choose to be a hermit. The Lord had gently placed me into being a hermit, and I really appreciate that my cousin had about single-handedly saved me from the frying pan of being horrifically tormented psychologically in the TI trenches, not just psychologically, but also physically, with the intent to kill, the intent to murder me, as evidenced by the my truck being vandalized, where the steering capacity was destructed. So I appreciate being here, but the coinciding incidences still continue to pile up. And then so, it's not my business whether or not the ideology behind the coinciding incidents is an intention of maliciousness or a benign happenstance. Not my business. As far as I'm concerned, my job is to report the observations, and only God knows. And in due time, the evidence, one way or the other, will promote itself. So, this is upstairs, and over here is the stairwell leading up to the second story. And, it's very pretty. Bedroom A, bedroom B, and bedroom C, which is my cousin's bedroom. And, before she left today, she had, allowed me the use of her fan from her own bedroom. And she gave me this. She gives me the clothes I wear. And since I'm, on a pathway to more robust health than I had been out in the trenches, I'm gaining weight now. And so whenever I mentioned it, she offered right away, would you like me to bring in more clothes for you? And, I appreciated that. So there are many wonderful attributes of support. And then there are the coinciding incidences, such as the wood chipper, such as that folded napkin or paper towel that found its way underneath my pillow. Because these are all coinciding incidences. Now, if the intention was maliciousness, then I would say that was purely destructive, purely a psyop assignment. Then that would mean whoever put it there was a psyop prostitute. And then my next question would be, how much were you paid to do that? To chip away at somebody that whose life has been destructed, just to parade around in the facade of hate crimes, organized criminal rings. I mean, that right there tells me there's a lack of empathy for the children being molested in the cesspool of all of this hate crime PSYOP assignments. Earlier in one of my other videos, it was a dialogue between my cousin and her foster child. God forbid my cousin is malicious on the down low and then training her foster child to act like the gold-digging, government-grubbing PSYOP prostitute with clothes. She takes care of me. This is just a teachable moment, because all I'm doing is sharing what it's like to be a targeted individual. You have to take things in stride. You have to not care about it. And when you choose not to care about it, it's an evolution. It's a pathway. And it's a pathway of faith, where whenever I slough it off and give it to God, I'm going to let him do the heavy lifting for me. Because God forbid you accuse somebody and they run the PSYOP game on you and say, are you feeling okay? I've done so much for you. How could you possibly think I would do something like that? Again, oh, there's Ethel, the cat. Again, it's none of my business. But I will document the coinciding incidences in real time, 7/17, as I said that, so others can help mitigate their lives. Because I'm walking my talk, honeys. This is what's helped me. It's not to say I'm the only path. I'm just saying this is my path and this is my journey. Welcome to my world. I'm sharing with you from the bones of my soul how it is and what I do to mitigate coinciding incidences. So in my other video, the dialogue between foster mom and foster child, 16 at the time, she's 17 now, was, oh, the wood chipper. Where's the wood chipper? It's here somewhere. I bet I can find it. Oh, wood chipper, where you at? I see you all the time. I don't know where you are. Anyways, oops, sorry. The wood chipper. They called it the wood chipper. Now they just call it chipper. At any rate, whenever they had brought up the name of that dog toy being the wood chipper, the dialogue between my cousin and her foster child over here along the way was whenever Lori was on the phone with her sister, the young one had made a joke about killing. I can't remember. I'd have to watch the video. And I'm all like, well, that's a pretty macabre sense of humor. Okay, sure. And then so 9/11 on the timer. Today's coinciding incident was there's a new kitten. Can you hear it? I don't touch the cat because I'm allergic to cats, but for this video, I'll demonstrate. First time I held the cat. Hi. And then so my the foster child had the cat over here on the ledge. Hello, baby. You're so cute. Had the cat on the ledge, and then my cousin Lori was like, "Be careful with that." And then the foster child says, "Oh, so it won't commit suicide." Ah, coinciding incident. Is it maliciousness? Or is it just coinciding incident? So, again, I'm saying none of my goddamn business. But that's where you have to turn it over to God. Turn it over to the universe forgive and full authenticness, because the psyop prostituting is real, people. And it was really nice of my cousin. She gave me the use of her tabletop fan right out of her bedroom. And again, she, let me have this and my clothes and everything. So, whenever you're up against a brick in a hard place, a brick wall in a tight spot, it's none of your business whether or not they're prostituting their integrity and morality. 11:11, as I said that, because you'll drive yourself into woes with, how dare somebody treat you like that? Just so somebody can earn the blood coin off somebody else's detriment. Let the universe do the heavy lifting for you. So after they said that, and it was like almost an instant replay of the chipper incidents and the jokes about killing and such, because it's a mockery. That's what it's meant to be. If the authentic intention was one of maliciousness. So it's another reason why I just you know what? None of my business. And then when you go to church and you say you're going to church, none of my business. But this is what that looks like. And God forbid there's a psyop prostitute in charge of people. Say, doing community work, like a homeless shelter. I've seen you homeless shelters run your psyop assignments, prostituting your ethics, like wanton, mindless, lack of empathy, monsters. So, and this is where I stop to interject to all of the light workers out there being psyoped in this Nazi machine meant to drive the targets into suicide. That's a fucking mockery, man. I'm like, really? I'm looking at the patterns here. So, you know what? Again, it's none of my business. But I will promise you, authentic forgiveness is a work in progress. Sure, you wax and you wane, go back and forth on it. But that's what makes it authentic. Is that you strive for it to be from the bones of your soul. Because when you get there and you release yourself of it, the cat's so cute. You signal the universe to do the heavy lifting for you in acts of poetic justice. So, I already asked my cousin once, she was running game on me when I first got here. She said no. So I'm like, okay. Because I'll ask about it and be upfront. Whenever answer is told to me, that's the answer. Now, whether or not it is an authentic answer, that's between them and God. And I wash my hands of it, turn it over to Pontius Pilate, like Pontius Pilate did, pray God's perfect will, and for healing, and to come to be prospered into the alignment of divinity. Because if the intention was maliciousness, and done purposefully because they were coached to, then that means their salvation is compromised. And if either one of them should happen to die, they get sucked right into the lowest vibratory frequency of the entire galaxy and cosmos, let alone the Earth. So, while I am at a disadvantage socioeconomically, I still respect. And if that's what, say it was done with malicious intent, That's the way she wants to behave. Well, I will respect that too. But I make my videos in real time because this is my video logs. These are my video diaries. This is what I have to live through, you know? And it is a rough, tight wire rope to balance. Hurts, pain. Because if it was malicious, why? Money, lack of empathy. And if it was done out of pure happenstance, then forgive me for shining a spotlight on it. But you have to know something. When you drag in people, places, or things as tools and use them for the facade of running PSYOP assignments, you speak curses over whatever it is you tooled. You know? You speak curses over that. You use your dog, you spoke a curse over your dog. You use a cat, you spoke a curse over that cat. Because that intention that you used your words for was meant to be malign and malicious to the target. If it was maliciousness. And it's all about the intent. May our intentions pass through the fire. You know, but it's not my job to psychoanalyze anybody and decide whether or not their intentions were malicious or were not malicious. That's not my job. And it's not yours either. That's where forgiveness, authentic forgiveness comes in. But along my pathway to getting there, I want to shout out to all of the light workers on YouTube. Because while I am the hermit, I'm not lonely. I've learned a lot. I go to God with everything my mommy taught me. But you all make my path so much more sweeter. Don't change. Even when the enemy comes at you 9 ways from Sunday, just know when you get up and do your videos, I'm at home with you. I'm at home with each of you. And growing up, my cousin, Auntie Vicky in the Philippines, she was so much fun to watch TV movies with. She was so cute. Because whenever, you know, if it was a suspense thriller, she'd be like watching like, and then my family was so vocal, they'd be like, no, don't go in there. They're in like a boxing match or a football show, you know, the crowd, you know, is excited. And so when I watch you guys, I'm like the stadium where I'm all like talking and shouting and having conversations with you guys. I don't care how insane it might look. That's you all are my sporting arenas, you know, teaching, going through the cards, going through the divination processes. So please know how much all of you mean to me. I may be solo, but I'm not lonely. But once in a while, having to dodge and weave the malarkey of coinciding incidences, God forbid that was a malicious intent, because I subscribe to poetic justice. And whatever karma says, give him a chance, give him a chance. But if karma says bring down the heavy hammer, I'm like, bring down the heavy hammer. None of my business. My business, I pray for the prosperity of divinity and for each of those that Judas me to find the error of their ways and heal. That's that. Because if they heal, it's a win-win for everybody. And they're more likelier to teach their offspring that. And the young they decide they want to take in. Because for everybody teaching the young how to prostitute their integrity and morality through the PSYOP assignments that your coaches coach you with, the hate directors of Willie Lynch and the lynch mob and the bigots. There's a special place in hell if you stay there for each of you, because you're breeding parasites and you're leading the young astray and you're teaching the young that money is the end-all be-all. That money that is earned off the detriment of others, that's all cursed. It's cursed. Why would you bring curses into your lives, people? But nonetheless, thank you for listening. And again, if you're a targeted individual, you know, find ways to find your salve, SALVE, to help you get through those coinciding incidences, but then find your way to forgiving them with full endorsement of karma and love, and wash your hands and give it to the universe. Let the universe do the heavy lifting for you, because nothing is sweeter than poetic justice. And I stand by that. Until then, I'm still going to be the guiding light and be like, if this was malicious intent, stop. You're hurting yourself. Because if in the event the good Lord ever called me home, I'm riding the white stallion, her chariot, taking me through the pearly gates of the land of milk and honey. All of you folks running the PSYOP games with malicious intent, you guys have salvaged your soul, have given up your soul, and your your soul salvage has been compromised. You will be taken and sucked into the lowest vibratory frequency you've plugged your avatar in. So I'd fix that if I were you. You need to be ready, because you could be called to cross dimensions at any time. Nonetheless, it's been Patricia Ann Landon Regali coming at you from North Carolina. Peace. Bye for now.